in a world. So, trying to get used to everything. I think we may implement a complaint policy when just all you say is negative complaints. We'll just give you a timeout so you'll have an opportunity to go take it up with the complaint department. They work rigorously around the clock, so they'll get back to you ASAP. Yeah. All right. So, what's up, familia? Schooling the Globers episode. We're gonna get right into it. Haven't had a ton of time to like do as much the presentation because I've been working a lot on Audit NASA. Officially changing it to Audit NASA. We'll cover some of that after talk about tonight. Without further ado, let's just get into it. Cutting out a little bit. In a world. Audio cutting in and out. Okay, trying to fix it. I don't know how to fix it now. Wait for it. I don't really know. Sounds fine here. Okay, anyway. Now audio, okay. All right, you guys let me know if you heard the background noise. We're trying to get it all good. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Boom. Let's just go ahead and start it up. All right, so Earth's atmosphere, Schooling Globers, episode 9. Let's check out what's up with the globe. And I know some people think they know where I'm going with this one, but maybe, just maybe, you don't. Okay, let's cover a few basics. So, we have the law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form of energy to another. And we are already going to come over here and have a little talk. Okay, so if energy cannot be created nor destroyed, then it can only be transferred. So where is it being transferred from? If you said the ether, you would be correct. Where's the energy coming from? It can't be created nor destroyed. I have a vacuum chamber and there's energy in there all of a sudden. Where does it come from? When you die, where's your energy go? It goes back to the source, also known as Yah. But anyway, so it's important to understand very basic tenet of physics here, law of conservation of energy. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to also point this out. You can see this laser. I don't know how well you can see it though. You can see it on the mic here. Yeah, you can't really see the actual laser. Maybe there's a certain angle you can. All right, laser. If I shoot this laser through glass, say this microphone is actually glass, it's going to come out on the other side. Straight out on the other side. A little piece of glass. Boom. If you were to measure the quote-unquote speed of the laser, it would slow down by 30%. Right around 30% whenever you shoot light through glass. So you shoot the laser through the glass, it's going to slow down by 30%. Now, light cannot slow down, right? According to relativity, it has a constant speed. C is a constant speed of light. Okay, so what they say is it doesn't actually slow down. Why do they have to say this? Because if they didn't, it would violate the law. Oh, this way. Nope, this way. Everything's backwards. The law of conservation of energy. Okay, because if this laser goes through the glass, then slows down 30%, then leaves the glass and speeds back up, what energy was introduced to the laser once it left to make it speed back up to its original speed? Well, there was no additional energy introduced. So that would violate the law of conservation of energy, and it would also violate the law of conservation of momentum. which is that momentum is neither created nor destroyed, but only changed through the action of forces. Now, we did kind of cover a bit in Relatively Speaking, episode 1, the nonsense they say regarding relativistic approach to this situation. But so you know the basics here. The law of conservation of energy is that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form of energy to another, or i.e. transferred. Conservation of momentum. Momentum is neither created nor destroyed, only changed with the action of forces. So when you have that laser, what they say is that the light actually just takes a bunch of detours inside the glass, so it travels a greater distance. So it took longer, but it was always going the same speed. Now, it actually just clearly goes straight through the glass. But they have to say this because it would mean that light doesn't have a constant speed. Of course, light's a rate of induction. So the speed of light is actually a rate of induction, which isn't, of course, a speed, but it's not a distance over time propagation from point A to point B, as people seem to think it is. Light is nothing more than the excitation of the background medium, which means when you have glass, an additional medium, it's going to change the rate in which you perceive that illumination. The speed of light is the rate of induction. We quantify the rate of perceived illumination. And of course, we have no problems with these basic laws here. Okay, that's not what this is about, so we are going to continue. Just trying to get some basic concepts. I think you guys get it. The laser couldn't speed up without additional energy. In order to speed up, you need more energy. If you did that without energy, you'd violate this fundamental law of the conservation of energy and momentum. Okay. Speed equals distance over time. So speed equals the distance divided by the time. So to have a change in distance traveled while maintaining the same time, it requires an increase in speed, just like we were talking about with the laser. Okay, very important to understand this. The laser took longer to go through the glass, but it can't speed up and it can't slow down. So they say it increased its distance, maintaining the same speed, right? Thus taking longer time. So speed equals distance divided by time. I hope I put this next slide in here. I need to double check this. In a world. Right before I was going to go live, I had to help with Leah. Okay, yeah, here we go. Current slide. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Pretty basic stuff, but it's important to keep this in mind as we go forward. Globers, please take notes. There will be a test. Wrong one. Okay. So, again, we have, just to cover it quickly, energy can't be created or destroyed. Momentum is neither created nor destroyed. Speed equals distance over time. So to have a change in the distance traveled while maintaining the same amount of time, then you would have to go faster. You'd have to increase the speed. Okay, so simple analogy here. We have a guy running 100 yards across the football field. It takes him 10 seconds. Then we have this guy running 2 football fields, so 200 yards, and it also takes 10 seconds. Well, that means that this guy has to run faster because you have a greater distance, same amount of time, which means he must have a greater speed. Very simple stuff, right? Okay. How could this be relevant? Let's talk about the globe. So the globe supposedly, of course, has a radius value of 3,959 miles. It has this magical core here in the middle and these magic layers that have changed consistently. As to the pseudoscience, we'll get into that in another School in the Globers, maybe the next one. But anyway, and then we have these different layers of the atmosphere. Okay, so we have the troposphere, the ozone, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the Kármán line, this arbitrary determination of where space is, and apparently the distance of space changes based on what country you're in. Then we have the thermosphere, and we have the exosphere. Okay, so we have layers to the atmosphere. You see these close layers here getting bigger, 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 bigger. Okay. Very cool. Magical solar system down here. Cartoons are reality. All right, so very basic stuff, right? We see that these are the layers to the atmosphere. Now, of course, this is supposedly in a vacuum, and we may cover that in a second, but that's not the point. So everyone keep in mind what we were just discussing. Keep in mind what the globe is claiming here. Okay. Now let's take a little look at this. This is the globe with the wind patterns, and then you have it spinning, and as the Earth spins, the entire atmosphere moves with it. Okay, and let's just look here just so you fully understand. We got the different layers of the atmosphere. Now, of course, gases have no inherent shape, so what a goofy name, but okay. So we have these different layers here. Again, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and the exosphere. Okay. Now, this is pretty interesting. As you increase your height, let's see what happens to the temperature. It starts to get colder. Okay, well, the air is less dense, starts to get colder. Interesting. Okay, oh, and then it starts to stay the same, and then it starts to get warmer in the stratosphere. Then it starts to get colder in the mesosphere. Then it starts to get warmer, and then way warmer in the exosphere. And they say that this is because of the sun. Now, this is interesting. This would be a whole nother conversation, but important part here is to keep in mind that we have these different layers, and we see that we have a temperature change, and it's going back and forth. It is not a gradient of temperature, but it is a gradient of gas pressure, but not temperature. Okay. Now that we got that covered, let's see what's the relevance here. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back here just to show it to you. So, if the Earth is actually spinning and it has layers to the atmosphere, then this whole atmosphere has to move with the Earth. Let me come back over here for a second. I missed a slide. Uno momento. So the whole atmosphere has to move with the Earth, at least to some extent, right? So just a second. Oh, I gotta teach the basics here. I have a feeling if I don't teach the basics. Okay, so but just keep in mind the basic parts here, because I'm going to find this picture it didn't say for some reason. Obviously, speed equals distance over time. We have the law of conservation of energy, and we have the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so the Earth is supposedly spinning, and the atmosphere is spinning with it, but not completely with it. They say we have something called Coriolis. Right? Okay. From current slide. All right, now let's get into what the relevance of all that was. And Globers, pay attention. So here we have a radius. This is a radius. The distance from the center to the edge. Radius. Here it is on a sphere. You see the plane cut through the middle. Go from any point at the center to the edge, you get the radius value. Radius, distance from center to edge. So here we have this green circle here. And that is the radius of the Earth. And then we have the layers to the atmosphere. Okay, now do you see, of course, that these layers are bigger circles than the green one? That means it has a bigger radius value. Okay, so each layer of the atmosphere has a greater radius value, i.e., distance. Because, of course, if you have a greater radius value, you have a greater circumference. So you have a greater distance around one of these circles. As you go up in the atmosphere, you have an increase in circumference. Okay, so that means if the entire Earth is moving around, like we just showed, if the whole Earth is moving around and then the atmosphere is moving with it, not completely with it, because there's Coriolis. Anyway, the atmosphere is moving with the Earth. All these layers up here are going to have to be going faster than the Earth. If the whole thing turns every 24 hours, then the atmosphere that's further away from the surface has to go faster than the atmosphere that's closer to it, and all of it has to go faster than the Earth does, because it has to travel a greater distance in the same amount of time, because it does one rotation every 24 hours. If the atmosphere is moving with the Earth, then to travel the greater distance in the same amount of time, it's going to have to go faster. Now, you cannot go faster without more energy. So this, if it could somehow go faster, so that it could travel a greater distance in the same amount of time without energy being introduced, then it would violate the basic tenets of physics, the law of conservation of energy and the conservation of momentum. Okay, so we have these layers here. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're all spinning in the same amount of time, supposedly rotating together. And then we have wind patterns inside of that. Whatever that means. Why we don't just have all the wind going in one direction with the spin of the Earth? Why we have all kinds of counter rotations? You tell me. They'll just pretend that makes me stupid because it's such a basic point. But just saying temperature differences and meteorology in no way answers why the overwhelming momentum of the angular rotation of the Earth in the atmosphere wouldn't cause all the atmosphere, the wind, to just have that bias overwhelmingly. But whatever. Not the subject. So here we go. We have a greater radius value, traveling a greater distance in the same amount of time. It has to go faster. So the question here is, in order to avoid violating a basic law of physics for this globe model here, right? How are the higher layers of the atmosphere speeding up as it goes higher? Meaning 1 foot off the globe has to go faster than the surface of the Earth. 2 feet has to go faster than that. A mile has to go faster than that. 20 miles, faster than that. You get it. The speed increases proportionate to altitude, thus energy introduced must increase proportionate to altitude. It's the only way. So, here we are left with a problem. Where is the energy being introduced according to the globe model? Now, this is where you start to get a bunch of contradictory claims, and the ballers cannot get their story straight. But I know why they can't get their story straight. Because there's no official answer to the question, so they don't know what to say. They must make stuff up. Okay, again, this is not just some, who cares? This is a basic tenet of physics. Okay. So I made sure to break it down really simple and slowly and redundantly, okay? In order for the gas to move, the air to move with the earth, and as you go higher, it has to go faster. It needs more energy. Now, what is... Oh, why do we have so many chats over here? What is the energy introduced? Oh, I think I like the other one better. So that's the question. And there is no official answer. Now, this is where you start to get all kinds of different claims here, okay? So people will say, oh, well, the Earth's atmosphere moves with the Earth. Well, does it move like in lockstep with the Earth? And then people will say yes and no. And people will say yes, the only thing that isn't in lockstep is the wind and the weather. And it does move in lockstep because I pointed this out and there's not official answers. Like they can't find an official answer. I looked as well, okay? It's very simple. If you're claiming that there was no wind, if there was no wind, then the Earth's atmosphere would move in lockstep with the Earth, then you're in basket A, okay? Now there's a whole nother group of people in basket B who understand that claiming Coriolis means that the atmosphere and the Earth cannot be moving in lockstep, regardless of the wind. There has to be an accelerative and inertial frame, a difference, okay? So you have the Earth and you have the atmosphere, and they can't move together according to Coriolis. Now, people try to distinguish the difference between Earth-based Coriolis with a bullet and then being in the air. No, it's accelerative, inertial frame, difference. Okay, so in reality, the globe must acknowledge that there is a difference. And it's not just because they say Coriolis. It's, even though they claim that's the cause of the wind, dun dun dun, they claim the Coriolis is the cause of the wind. Not that the wind is the Coriolis is the cause of the wind. Okay? So now you might ask yourself, why did they claim that? Why do they claim such a thing when clearly, we have people breaking world record sniper shots and people in the military that shoot long distance sniper shots and actually kill people on a regular basis, saying we do not account for Coriolis, man. That's a fairy tale, okay? But other than, of course, the bullet spinning out of the barrel, and then wind is the only thing you really have to account for, the primary thing. So anyway, this is why you have to claim Coriolis as a baller. And this is what this is. It says schooling globers, okay? Because we get all kinds of contradictory claims in the trenches here, trying to discuss the intricacies of the nature of where we live because we found out that we were lied to, okay? And I get some people just can't accept that. It's just much easier, safer position just to be like, it's kind of interesting. I don't really know. I don't care that much, but I think it's a globe because that's just safer. I get that, okay? But I'm talking about a core tenet of physics. You can't just hand wave this. Now, this is 2023. This whole globe model, I mean, people have been working on it for a long time now, right? There should be an official answer to this, right? There's not. There's not an official answer. So, fluid mechanics tells you that as something moves out from the interior and rotates with it, it's going to slightly drag behind it, like a blender. Okay? Now, we get all kinds of contradictory claims here, so I'm just going to cover them all. Okay? So, let me come back over here so you guys aren't just looking at me. So, let's talk about some of the claims we get. So, as the Earth spins and the atmosphere spins with it, as you go higher, it's going to drag more and more behind the Earth. Basic fluid mechanics, basic physics. And if it doesn't, and it all moves together, and it doesn't drag, meaning move separate from the Earth, saying that it's close enough doesn't mean anything. That's not how science works. Audio's cutting in and out. Is it really? Because you're like really killing the vibe if you're being petty about it. Oh man, is it really cutting out? I don't know what else to do. I put the little noise suppression thing on there, and I guess that's what it is. I don't know what else to do, though. Okay. Anyway. So, totally killing the vibe so much. Is it? I mean, if it's really bad, though, I want you to tell me. I have a feeling that people might... I don't know. It may be bad. All right. Anyway. So, Totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, say that you have like a blender and you put something in the blender and it's spinning. Okay, then the outer edges of the blender are going to drag behind the interior of the blender. Basic fluid mechanics. Now, one thing that people try to say is, oh, but that's different. There's a physical container on the blender and there's not any friction on the earth. They must have forgotten that they do claim containment of the Earth's atmosphere within a vacuum, and they claim that's caused by gravity. And that gravity has a singular vector of down relative to the center of mass. So that is going to cause friction. You have down, okay, down, and it's a fabric of space-time creating a gravity well where the atmosphere is moving. So you are going to have friction, obviously enough resistance so that you can actually contain the Earth's atmosphere inside a vacuum. Okay, but just basic fluid mechanics here. The Earth's atmosphere is going to drag further and further behind the Earth the higher you go. Now, if you claim that it doesn't, then you have to claim that it's going to speed up the higher you go so it can all move in the same time, which means you have to introduce this isn't just like, oh, I wonder what it is, no big deal. This debunks the entire model of the spinning globe if you don't have an actual empirical answer, because it violates physics. So what's the answer? No one has one. No university, no one has an official answer. There isn't an answer. Isn't that interesting? Stupid flat earthers don't believe in this solid globe model. It's just 2023. It can't answer rudimentary, basic fundamentals of the model that was proposed, which is that the Earth's a tilted, wobbling, spinning ball with an atmosphere adhering to the exterior of this ball inside of a vacuum, as this thing called gravity contains it within a vacuum, even though it can't do it at the surface, bending the immensity of the oceans convexly around the exterior of this ball. And it's tilted, wobbling, spinning, and then the atmosphere is spinning with it inside this vacuum. This is the basic model. This is just what it is on its face. Like, as soon as someone says Earth's a spinning globe, like, that's what you're saying. That's just the basics. Okay, so this isn't some like science always learns stuff. This is like, we can't even take your model seriously until you can adhere to the basic principles of physics that have been tested and are true, which is the law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so now this is the problem. You can think about it, but I've thought about it. There's not an answer. You can't say the sun, because then someone tries to say, oh, the sun, and then the higher ones are going to be more affected because they're closer to the sun than the lower ones. Well, okay, please show me the math of what your model claims that the actual energy source of the sun is, how much energy is introduced to the atmosphere, and then what's the dispersion going down. They won't show you that math. The math would refute that claim. It doesn't work, which is why no official sources ever claimed it. It doesn't work. Not to mention, I just showed you guys what's going on here. This is where it gets so bad for them. This is why I showed this part to you. You have the different layers of the atmosphere, and then you have different temperatures, okay? So you can't simply say that it's some type of like natural reaction within the Earth's atmosphere based on what heats the atmosphere up, which is the sun. You can't claim that, because we see it goes colder, stays the same, warmer. So it goes from the troposphere, colder, stays the same for a second, going up the stratosphere, then gets warmer, then goes up to the mesosphere, gets colder, the coldest, then goes up to the thermosphere, begins to warm up, and it keeps going and going and going up into the exosphere. Now, they actually claim that up in the exosphere, it's super rotation, that it's actually moving faster than the Earth is spinning. They claim the Earth's atmosphere is moving faster than it. So what's causing it? Okay, if you think it's the sun, then you have to show an even distribution of energy, right? And it has to go down and then proportionally introduce energy all the way down at just the right amount that it makes the Earth's atmosphere move with the Earth. That's not going to cut it. You can't even show the math, much less the empirical evidence of that, especially when it's contradictory to your other claims about how everything works and the temperature distribution based relative to the density and the supposed energy excitation from the sun in the first place. This debunks the entire globe model. It actually does. And there is no legitimate answer. Unless you say that the Earth's atmosphere actually lags behind the Earth. But if you claim that, then we're going to get into a problem. So let me just drive this point home so make sure everyone gets it. Hopefully everyone gets it. Hopefully the sound is not bad. I can't tell. But, or he has a longer stride. That would still just mean that he's going faster. Okay, so let me recap this part again, okay? Just do the whole thing. Here we go. Okay, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Momentum cannot be created nor destroyed. Speed equals distance over time. So to have a change in distance traveled while maintaining the same time, you have to increase in speed. Just like the guy running 100 yards in 10 seconds had to be going slower than the guy who ran 200 yards in 10 seconds. Basic stuff. Earth's atmosphere has layers, has a radius value. Therefore, as you go higher in the atmosphere, it has a greater radius value. Thus, if it's rotating, it's traveling a greater distance than the lower layers, which is a smaller circle. Okay, so if it's all moving together, then that means what would naturally arise is that either A, the higher layers are going to actually be lagging behind the Earth proportionate to the distance above the Earth. So you would actually get a value based on the distance above the Earth, how much it would be lagging behind. Okay. Or you have to claim that it moves all together and rotates all at the same time, right? Every 24 hours, the whole thing rotates. Therefore, you need more energy introduced to the system, but just the exact amount needed as you go up higher and higher and higher to increase the speed of the atmosphere just right that it spins. They will never be able to come up with a theory that could ever explain such a thing because they already have so much pseudoscience they have to adhere to right now to glue the model together, right? And in addition, wow, what are the odds? Please show me the empirical evidence, the data, the observations, the recordings, and the math. Please show it to me. It'll never happen because think about it. How lucky we are in that scenario that it wasn't just a little bit more energy and then the atmosphere started spinning faster than the Earth. Right? Oh, but it does at the top, but not where anyone else can go. Right, like, think about this. If you really understand it, I hope I'm doing a good point explaining. This is a death blow to the modern globe model. Now, you may say, no, it's not, because you gave them an out. Now, most of them will say, most globe ballers will say, the Earth moves with the atmosphere. And you're like, wait, I thought about Coriolis. No, it moves with the atmosphere. Bullets and planes and in the air is different. Bullets is different than something flying in the air. And well, it's basically that. And Coriolis is just the wind. No, Coriolis causes the wind patterns. It causes the storms. It causes the temperature fluctuations within these wind patterns. The actual rotation, the Coriolis, causes the directional preference of the wind patterns in the globe model. So we can't say the wind is Coriolis. No, the actual Coriolis effect, meaning the difference in the accelerative frame and the inertial frame, creates the actual wind patterns. Okay, so hopefully this is make sense to everyone. Okay, so then if you claim that it's moving together, you have to explain the first thing, right? You have to explain that you're basically making a claim in violation of the energy, the violation in the law of conservation of energy and the law of conservation of momentum. You're gonna have to provide actual physical mechanism to introduce just the right amount of energy, and of course you have to substantiate claims about the natural world with actual empirical evidence. You just can't make them up, although the globe makes a habit of this anyway. Okay, now let's move on to the alternative, which is like fluid mechanics, just basic physics, has to travel a greater distance, it needs more energy. It's the only way, right? So, okay, now say, well, it lags behind the higher you go. Well, whatever, it's not much. That's what they'll say, right? They all contradict themselves, but they can't get their story straight because there's not like an official story for them yet. All right, so check this out. Say that the atmosphere is actually lagging behind the Earth. And as you go higher and higher, it lags more and more behind the Earth because there's no extra energy introduced. So then it's going a greater distance, same amount of time, but the same speed. So it's going to be actually behind it. So it's actually take a little bit more time to go that same distance, right? But we're just comparing it to the standard of one rotation every 24 hours. So that's the time. Anyway, you guys get it. Okay, I'm being very redundant. Make sure everyone gets it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to let's say that it actually does lag behind, right? Like physics would necessitate. Then what would that mean in the physical world? Let's see. So we, of course, have something called planes that supposedly fly around a ball that spins in all directions. You see these planes just flying around the ball, no big deal. Now, what's not really depicted here is that there's an atmosphere that's moving with the ball. And so as this plane flies one direction, it's actually going backwards simultaneously. Okay. That's not technically impossible. That's whatever. Okay, but so we have planes flying in all directions around the spinning globe. If you fly from one point to another point on the globe, it's actually going to be what's called a great circle route, because the straightest line, or shortest distance, more so, the shortest distance from point to point on a sphere is a great circle route. So this is, of course, the Mercator. We have it flattened out here, but on the globe, you got this big curve, right? Because the shortest distance from point to point on a sphere is a great circle route. Okay, basic stuff. Okay, so this is what they think is going on. All these planes are flying in all these different directions on the globe as it spins. Now, mind you, as you get higher up, say where these planes are flying, 35,000 feet, as you go from 1 foot up to 35,000 feet, the atmosphere is lagging more and more and more behind the Earth. It's either that or defy like the core tenets of physics. So you don't really have much of a choice here, Globers. Okay, just so you know. Okay, so as you go higher and higher, the Earth's moving further and further behind. The atmosphere is moving further and further behind the atmosphere. The atmosphere is moving further and further behind the Earth. Thus, the plane is going to be affected by that. Right? So let's check it out. So again, the shortest path from point to point on a globe is a great circle route. It's a curve. Can't cut through the Earth, right? So these planes are going to fly from point to point to point. You see they're actually curved though, right? Okay, so let's say this plane is going to fly to this red dot right here. So this is where it's starting from, and this is its destination. So it's going to take off and start to fly towards the red dot. So we're flying south. Now we're flying south, and the Earth is spinning east. So as I start to fly south, the Earth begins to spin. And we just covered, you can't just say the plane perfectly moves with the spinning Earth because the atmosphere moves perfectly with the spinning Earth. We just covered ad nauseum. That is not an option. That defies physics. Okay. So as this atmosphere is, or as this plane is 35,000 to say even up to 60, 70,000 feet up flying, it's going to lag more and more behind the Earth the higher you go, thus create resistance against that plane. It's going to have to account for it. Okay, so it's going to fly from the blue dot to the red dot. And so as it flies to the red dot is the destination is going to slowly be moving further and further away from them. So if this plane just flies and puts the destination in their heading, right? They just basically point right at the place they're going and they fly there, which is what they do in reality, by the way. Then it's going to actually miss the destination unless it's accounting for the Earth spinning. No matter how small it is, you want to account for wind or whatever. Sometimes the wind's not that strong. Sometimes the wind blows in all directions. So if you had to account for the spin against you, say going west, because it's lagging behind the Earth, and you're flying south, if you were flying the opposite direction, you can't simultaneously bank in the other direction to correct for the consistent resistance against the atmosphere. All right, I don't want this to get lost. This plane's flying to this destination, but actually on the globe, right, if it was doing that, this is what it would be doing because it keeps its heading on the destination. So the second plane is what would be happening on the globe. You'd be flying and slowly updating as you fly because you keep the destination in your heading, you're aiming at it. So as you fly, you're going to have to keep updating because it's slightly moving away from you. So actually, you would be taking this big, long curve right here, right? Now, if the Earth was in fact a ball that was spinning, when they flew the planes, obviously the shortest path would be to cut off the city, meaning to lead it, to lead the city. So if I'm flying from here and the city's going to slowly move a little away from me, either I can A, follow it the whole way, updating, which means I'm just not taking an efficient route. I'm constantly having to update to keep the city in my heading. So it's going to be a longer route. Obviously, the shorter route would be to lead the destination and then meet it there. Now, planes in reality, they actually put the city in their heading and fly straight there. The globe wants to act like this is how the globe proponents want to act like this is how it works. You just start from here in a plane, fly to this red dot, put your heading on the red dot, just fly straight there. And it's just like it is on a flat, stationary Earth. You just account for the wind moving relative to a stationary Earth. That's it. Right? Well, that's convenient because that's how it would be on a stationary Earth. But on the globe that's spinning, you would have to update. So anyway, long story short, this would save airlines ultimately billions of dollars because it's going to cut down the distance. This is where they start to talk about reference frames, and they want to pretend that somehow in the air is not the same as the ground distance, and then they just say reference frame, and it's shorter in the it's shorter in the relative reference frame, but you just don't get it because that's their cop out for everything. But this is basic physics here. The plane is going to have to fight against the spin of the Earth. This conversation is twofold. So it has to fight against the spin of the Earth. And more the higher the plane goes. And obviously you can't just fly straight to the destination. That would be a much longer path than cutting it off. And you have to constantly be updating as you go. Now, even if you tried to, in this fairy tale spinning globe world, if you actually even if you tried to lead the city, it wouldn't work because you're still going to have to update for the spinning Earth. So say you're going to try to come cut it off. Well, you're still flying this line where the atmosphere is moving against you. So you would have to actually update for that as you fly and try to adjust where you're going to actually end up as you aim. So even leading it wouldn't work. So again, they think that the Earth is a spinning ball with all these planes flying in all these opposite directions, especially the meridian. That's where you really can understand the problem is very simple. You have the north to south flights, like a line going north and south, a great circle going north and south. That's called a meridian flight. Okay, this is an obvious problem for the idea that the Earth is a spinning ball. It doesn't work. It simply does not work. So there you go. There's Earth's atmosphere. Now, while we're here and while we're talking about it, we can cover another problem that's obvious. You can't have the Earth's atmosphere sitting in a vacuum around a globe. Just claiming gravity does it. Gravity that isn't a force does it. And then you say, oh, we can have something being contained with a force. Gravity isn't a force, but you can think of it like it's a force. But gravity is stronger at the center of mass. But if I have gas right here in a container on the Earth and I open up the container, the gas goes in all directions. It doesn't just stay in the container because gravity is pulling it down. And of course, that's much less gas. And then you have gravity here that's much closer. And what's around it is nothing like a vacuum, right? It's nothing like a vacuum. The gas is not going to stay in the container at the surface where gravity is the strongest. You can't take the gas way up higher and then think gravity's just going to keep it from filling the vacuum of space. And of course, you can't just say it's just a gradient and that somehow solves the problem. You can obviously have a gradient in a container. In fact, you can't have a pressure gradient of gas pressure unless you have containment. It's the only way to have gas pressure. And no, atmospheric pressure is not different than gas pressure just because you say it. The only quote unquote difference is that it's assumed to be on the Earth that's a ball and there's a gradient. It's a compilation of gas pressure. So it's the same thing. The atmosphere, atmos, air, gas, made of gas. Anyway, you can't have this thing in a vacuum. But that's not really what this one's about. More so, when you spin it, it actually even adds to that problem. But I don't want to get distracted too much. I just want to real fast recap. Here we go. Earth's atmosphere. You have the law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form of energy to another. You also have the law of conservation of momentum. Momentum is neither created nor destroyed, but only changed through the action of forces. So, whenever you understand that you have speed, which equals distance over time, that means that to have a change in distance traveled while maintaining the same time, it requires an increase in speed. So if the guy runs 100 yards in 10 seconds and the other guy runs 200 yards in the same 10 seconds, the guy that ran 2 football fields must have ran faster, a greater speed, than the guy who ran 1 football field, which means he was exerting more energy. Okay, Earth's atmosphere. We have a radius value, 3959. Each layer that goes out from the Earth has a greater radius value, a greater distance from the center, thus a greater circumference around the globe, thus a greater distance to be traveled if it's all spinning with the globe, as it says officially. So, if you want to try to claim that there's some type of energy, I'm all ears for it, but you have problems such as the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere, all just existing within a vacuum magically. And then you look at the temperature, it gets colder from the troposphere up to the stratosphere, then it stays the same for a while, then begins to get warmer up the stratosphere, then at the mesosphere it gets colder, even colder than it was before this, then to the thermosphere and to the exosphere it gets significantly warmer. Okay, so you can't just claim that there's some type of energy that's already taking care of this. There's not. The temperature and density fluctuations, obviously the temperature is going to be directly relevant to the amount of energy, to the dispersion, to the kinetic energy, to the kinetic velocity. This is pretty simple. So you can't just pretend it all works out right now somehow. It doesn't. It doesn't work out. But you have to explain an entire external mechanism that's going to introduce energy more and more, right, from the top down. So as you go from the surface and you go up, then you're going to have more and more and more energy as you get higher to go faster and faster and faster, or it violates the law of conservation of energy and the law of conservation of momentum. And again, just to make sure everyone gets it, of course, you have the radius value here depicted by the turquoise. That's the radius of the Earth. You have the bigger circles, greater radius value. That means a greater circumference, greater distance. So if you claim that the atmosphere is not moving with the Earth, so it doesn't have to explain how there's magically energy introducing just the right amount to make it all move together, then you're going to have to say that it lags further and further behind the Earth the higher you go, which is going to affect things like plane flights and many other things. So as the plane flies, as it's 35,000 feet, 60,000 feet, 70,000 feet, it's going to have more and more resistance or drag because the atmosphere is lagging behind the Earth the higher you go. And again, of course, the straightest path on the globe is a great circle route. And so here they are flying their great circle routes. If that's the case, they would put their heading on the city like they do, and they'd have to update the entire way to get to the city or the destination, which would be significantly less efficient than just leading the target. But what we do is we just put our destination in the heading because we fly over a flat stationary Earth in reality, and there's no way that they're going to sacrifice billions of dollars and not realize that they must have been updating this entire time to a city moving away from them. And you can't have your cake and eat it too and claim that they don't have to update because the Earth's atmosphere perfectly moves with the Earth without addressing the energy problem, which there isn't an official answer for because it violates physics and there isn't an answer. So simply put, something as simple as jumping on a plane, flying south down a great meridian debunks the spinning globe model. And that is the Earth's atmosphere presentation. All right, I know that I covered a lot of the points over and over, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone really understood the point. Audio 5 out of 5, all good in the hood. Nice. Thank you, Setneg, for being a member for 6 months. 6 months. Hey, Austin, I think a better illustration you can use to convey your point could be a track field where the outer lane having a larger distance from the inner lane requires more speed to keep up. Yeah, sure. That's true, actually. That's a way better depiction. But I just tried to make that real fast, so. But I agree. Kevo, thank you for the $10 super chat. Retro Reister Gaming, here is some bread for the gravy. Hey, I like it. My friends are super angry since I blasphemed against their religion. I never understand why Globers get so emotional. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's basically like you're telling them that they could have been tricked their whole life, and that so like they take it like you're telling them that they're stupid and naive and got tricked, and you know, some people take it like you think you're better than them or whatever. It's just this weird emotional response. I get it. But thank you for the $10 super chat, Retro Gaming. Gerardo Alvarez, welcome to the Miswits, level 1. Hey, welcome to the Miswits. Welcome to the Miswits. Thanks for signing up for being a member. Let's see if I got any more super chats here. Adam, member for 7 months. Happy to support your efforts, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for being a Miswit for 7 months. What a legend. Thank you so much. All right, I think that we're caught up. C Davis 912, thank you for the super chat, $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. I'll double check to make sure I didn't miss anyone, but I don't think I did. Cool, and we come over here to Rockfin. We got a $5 tip from Sick With It. Love the streams and debates. Thanks for what you do. Keep spreading knowledge and truth. Yes, sir. Thank you for the support on Rockfin, brother. Much love. All right, cool. So, damn it, Austin, stop making sense. My globe head is still spinning. Yeah, does everyone? Did I make sense? Did I make it like it's? I know it makes sense, but I'm just saying like I hope I conveyed it well. You learned us a thing or three. Nice. It's just goofy, but we can talk about even more enlightening things while we're at it. Like again, the light's just already there. It just takes us a second to see what's already there light up. It's not physically traveling from point to point. As it goes through glass, it doesn't slow down speed back up, violating the law of conservation of energy and the law of conservation of momentum. Nor does it take magical little detours all over the place, but just look like it maintains a perfectly straight path and you could never tell it doesn't. That's not how it works. It's just, you're just seeing the light, which is just the background being excited and illuminating at a certain rate. You're seeing that rate slow down, how quickly you see it, because you're adding a whole nother layer of a medium called glass to it. So it makes it take longer to see it. Yeah, dude, it was good. Thanks. Gravy? Yeah. Cool. So we schooled the Globers. I can tell you what, I can go ahead and tell you right now, and they probably won't make it this far or whatever, but I can tell you everything that they try to say, right? First, then there's like multiple camps. Hey, Setnet gifted 5 Miswit memberships. What a legend. Oh, look, a little box popped up. Thank you for the gift, 5 memberships. Setnet, what a legend. Thank you so much, brother. First come, first serve, I think. Greatly appreciated, brother. So, yeah, what's so interesting is this is the stuff that they say. It's so funny. What's interesting about it is that there isn't an official answer. There is an official answer as to, is the atmosphere moving with it? Then what actually caused it to move with it? You know, what introduced this energy? Just the right amount, like an increase in energy proportionate to altitude, right? Just the right amount because, of course, you have an increase in speed required proportionate to an increase in altitude because you have a proportionate increase in distance, right? Based on the rotation. During fornication, what direction should we face to reduce drag? Yikes. Claptrapism. Thank you for being a member for 7 months. Miswit level 1. Crazy question, man. And I get that you're trying to be funny though. The propagation of the perturbation does slow down. No, it's not a propagation of a perturbation. The perturbation doesn't propagate. Okay, if you want to say the propagation of the perturbation, that's fine. But it's more so is like the what it is itself that is being perturbed isn't propagating, it isn't traveling, it isn't moving. So light does not have a speed that it travels because the light is already present. It's just being disturbed. Sure, there are quote unquote speeds that you can quantify, right? Just like if I throw a rock into a pond and I see the ripples and the waves move across the lake, I can be like, how long did it take the waves to get to the other side of the lake? Like that pond was already there. We disturbed it by throwing a rock in it. Now we can quantify the disturbance. But if you ask me, how long does it take the water to get to the other side of the lake? I'd be like, the water was already there, bro. I've said this 1,000 times. But and what actually happens is how fast you see the excitation is different because you added a different medium to it. That's what it actually is. Visible light, the quote unquote speed of light, is a rate of induction, which is just a quantification. Our speed of light is a quantification of the rate in which we perceive illumination. How do you super chat with words? You just press super chat and type the words beside the amount you pick. You tried sending words and it just sent the super chat. I don't know. You should be able to just type right beside it. And that disturbance does not go through the medium. It's a disturbance of the medium. So how does a disturbance go through it? Like the medium moves, but the medium moves. The disturbance goes through it. You're saying like something called a disturbance travels. Like you're disturbing something that's already there. Yes, there's movement. Yes, there is movement. And you can say, like, if you want to say it moves through it, if that makes you feel good, fine, like whatever. But light itself doesn't travel. If I have a wire, if I have a rope and I stretch it across the room and then I move the rope, right? And then I see this little like waving go down the rope. You can be like, look, the disturbance moved through the rope. I'm like, okay, cool. But if you say like, how long did it take the rope to get to the other side of the room? I'd be like, what are you talking about? Claptrapism gifted 5 memberships. Hey, thank you so much, brother. Gifting 5 Miss Wit memberships. What a legend. Thank you. First come, first serve. People jump on those things, man. Thank you. You got a big gift pops up. It's pretty crazy. Flat Gang, what up, Melodome? All right, so I'm going to talk about Audit NASA. All right, and we're going to have some really heavy ones coming in the future, but it's like it takes a while to, I have like a lot of stuff going on. So I've been working on Audit NASA. It's like we're officially up and getting to it. So we'll have a Discord up soon. We have our private Telegram, but it's private for a reason. I've officially made the volunteer application form. You can go to it. It's really nice looking. You can go to the volunteer application form. All the information, all the personal information is I'm the one that's going to have it. There may be a select couple people I trust specifically that can like help go through some of them and help like contact. So he'll just have like name and number or name and email so that he can like coordinate with you guys to figure things out. Right. But like personal addresses, all that, you don't have to worry about it. I don't care where you live, and it's just going to be me that has access to it. You're 100% good, but it is a necessary protection against people infiltrating with fake information to try to get what we're doing and go like blow its cover, go like tell people and like try and ruin it, right? And try and infiltrate and destroy it. Okay, because I had so many messages from weird, like imagine being this low vibration where they're just spamming hateful things in the application forms and spamming me nonstop, trying to like just sabotage Audit NASA because they're like pathetic people. But anyway, so this is a necessary protection. It's a cautionary measure. So anyway, you fill in your real information, then you get to pick what position that you would want, right? And then you have to sign an NDA. The NDA just says you can't reveal private information from inside the group unless the president, me, gives you written consent, and that you're legally liable if you lie about your identity to get into NASA, to get into Audit NASA, and then break the rules and like try to share the information which is private and crucial to the mission success of the organization. So it's just going to eliminate all of them. Because I will, if they come and do it, I will take them to court. I will. They've signed it. It's a slam dunk. They're legally liable for damages. I put it in the NDA. They had to sign it. So there you go. That's what I did. And I set up all kinds of different positions. It's super professional. I set up an organizational structure. We have board meetings, a board structure. So like the monthly meeting schedule, we set it up into 10 regions throughout the United States. So we have 10 regional managers. We have like an international thing going on. I think we may just like kind of create an overall international group instead of like Canada, Mexico, Australia. I think we may just combine all international and have like an international manager basically. But anyway, so you have regional managers, then regional secretaries, all this stuff. We're working on everything. I've created that NDA form and the application form all into one. It's really dope. I'm trying to think about where to reveal, but it doesn't matter. Like what can people do with it anyway? So I'll drop it in here if you want it. I think if you can personal message me about it at Witsit, that's good. I'm trying to get the like immediate like managerial team and like some people helping out, just because I can't do all this. Like the amount of time I've already spent on it is crazy, and I'm doing it obviously like money out of pocket on different softwares, different stuff. Just it's all out of pocket. It is what it is, but it's just a lot of time I'm putting into it. It's for free, but it's because I'm passionate about it. I think it's important. But I think that if we all work together, like, and we volunteer some of our time for the better cause, like the bigger good, right? Then it'll be not too bad. It won't be too strenuous. No one has to do anything, set amount of hours or anything, right? It's a volunteer program. We all work together. We can get so much done if we all take it seriously and chip in a little bit here and there. And I think it's gonna be freaking epic, dude. It is gonna be epic. It's already epic. If you just go see the actual, like I typed out like astronaut liaison and like all these different specialists, technical analysis, like all these different positions, which we'll even add to. It's going to be really dope. I'll have to come back to rewatch later. Love you. Love to all. Love you too, brother. It'll be worth it in the end. Yeah, of course. But it is pretty fire. It's like, because I'm just going to get better and more professional with it. And we're going to have the Discord set up where you have to have certain roles to get into certain things. Then we're going to set up like a Zoom. I think there might be a better alternative, but you can jump on video. If you don't want to be on camera, you can still jump in there audio, and we'll have our official meetings. We'll have official voting. The voting will go up the ladder, then go in front of the board. Then the board will get together and make a decision. I'll have a quote unquote presidential like team to help me make different decisions. Each one will have a different portion. I threw Jaron honorary VP because that's my boy, right? So Jaron's honorary VP as long as he wants to do it. Either way, yeah, it's just going to be epic. It's going to be super professional. We're all going to work together. We're going to have secretaries. We're going to have like fundraising specialists. So eventually, because one of the forms I'm working on right now is a reimbursement form. And so you go through it and you click you have to provide your receipts, but you click on what it is so you can submit for reimbursement. Now, this is not feasible right now. Like I said, it's already out of pocket, just taking tons of time that I'm doing for free. And obviously I put more time into it than anyone, I would say. Not even close right now. But eventually what I want to do is create some way where Audit NASA does make some money, and not me, right? Just the company or the business, or let's just say the organization, and it's bringing money in, and then it can pay people. So it can pay people, reimburse them, but it'd be like nonprofit, right? I mean, it's like, I'll deal with all that. I'll take care of everything with like do we have to worry about taxes, all that? I got it covered. But more so like, imagine if you can go do your thing at Kennedy Space Center, pay the $199 to sit down with the astronaut. You eat breakfast with them. They tell you stories. You have Q&A. Then they take you on a special little tour. You get to ask them personal questions, and they sign something for you, $200. And then you can get it reimbursed. If we can set that up where everyone's getting reimbursed to go in there. Now, if you go in there acting crazy, acting a fool, you're obviously not getting reimbursed anyway. That's down the road. My point is that that's just an idea. Maybe even like helping people do it full time, paid positions. That's kind of the goal. Really professional. Like that's why I made you guys sign the form. And then once you guys pick what you want to do, I'm trying to get some different hiring positions out. So you guys that submit, you may be contacted to get a brief idea of where you fall in, what you want to do. And then I'm going to create an acceptance form. You just accept it. and then bang, and it's all electronic. You just go in there, you can sign with your fingers, sign with your mouse. It's super easy. Type and sign. But if you're forging names and lying and signing an NDA, then you're in trouble. So if you get caught, you're in trouble, bro. So of course I can verify identities anyway, right? Once they're in there. So long story short, I've created protective measures, right? And I think it's going to give us some breathing room, and it's going to be super dope. Pay us in Epic coins. I don't have any money to pay right now, but I mean, what do you say? Like eventually, maybe, I guess. Like if anyone is only interested in doing it so they can get paid, then it's just not for you right now. Like I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like that's not. There should be if true earthers can't get behind this, there should be thousands of people filling that application out. Thousands. There should definitely be hundreds and hundreds that are willing to go put in a few hours, even like an hour a week, a few hours a month, maybe a few hours a week, right? Because they can see how like legit this is about to be, and they know like how impactful it could be. So, that's how I feel about it. Can we use Dominion voting systems to vote for a new president? Yeah, absolutely. They're super legit, so why would we not? Claptrapism, thank you for the $10 super chat. I can read I'll read some of the list off. Personal message me at Witsit, but I mean, I'm gonna have to be able to verify your identity. The best way is to fill in the application. And once you fill in the application, you sign the NDA, I can shoot you the private link if you don't already have it. I'm in for NASA audits. Much love, brother. Don Pettis Driver, thank you for the $10 super chat. I think we're officially changing it to Audit NASA, but same thing, thank you. Do you have to submit a resume to apply? You don't have to submit a resume. You can. I just ask in this specific application, it's like, tell me some of your experience, and then we'll set up like some type of little brief interview, even if it's just email or whatever. But no, the application is much more about agreeing and then agreeing that you're not going to like reveal information that's supposed to be private without express written consent, or that you're legally liable. And if you're faking your identity, then you're legally liable. So if you do anything sketchy and you like came in there faking who you were, like as an anti-flat earther, like you have to sign that you're legally liable. And you do realize that that's like, you're like, oh, I said a fake name and signed a fake name. That's illegal. So but it's all good because we'll just find out. Like if I can't verify who you are, then and I have to do it this way. So you're never going to make everyone happy, but it's whatever. I've never seen anyone else do anything like this. I need a wrench to rid us of this Joel. Who's Joel? Oh wow, yeah, you're getting a little carried away there, buddy. I like to research. Thanks. Nice. Blake, 1991. Thank you for being a miswhip for 6 months. What a legend. You see how like think about it. If I just don't go by first name. Think if I just dropped it in here right now, right? Like, look at these crazy people that stalk my channel, dude. Personal message me on Telegram at Witsit. Email me witsit@protonmail.com with this as the subject. Go to auditnasa.com. Fill out an application. You can literally just put your name in there, your name and contact information in there, okay? And that's how you can end up getting access to the private Telegram. Now, they thought they were going to get in by being fake people and like sending in fake resumes and like just pretending to be. I think I caught probably all of them, if not the vast majority of them, trying to troll their way in through the website. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm not playing the games. But that's how you know they're scared, bro. They know that I'm going to set my mind to it, and we're going to end up coming together and making this such an epic organization that's going to have real impact and real results that they're like freaking out. They're trying to sabotage it. So there you go. They are fucked. Thank you, True Earth Norseman, for the $10 super chat. Trying to get me to slip, bro. I don't like weak words, bro. But nah, thank you for the super chat, brother. Let me read some of the positions off just so you guys can get an idea. I'm trying to think like, I don't even know if I should say things out loud. I just say you're going to be missing out. All right, let me read some of the positions off to you so you kind of know Take a break, Joel. Yeah, take a break, Joel. All right. Here are some of the positions so you kind of know what we're talking about. That Adidas jacket's tough. Thank you. It was super cheap at an outlet. All right. All right, so we have the executive team. We got the president, VP, regional management, regional managers. We got tentatively 10 of them. They oversee and, okay, let me just read them off. I'm going to read them all off. Because I don't have an official manual made and stuff yet. Witsit, what is the best way to support you financially, not YouTube that reaps you off? Cash App, $, WitsitGetsIt on Cash App, or paypal.me/inaworld. PayPal or Cash App, probably. Oy vey, shut it down. I'm in Florida, so I should be signing up, but I don't know how much time I can give to this. Well, just sign up just to do it, dude. But yeah, if you read the rules, like you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. Like the thing is, this is not going to be anyone's primary job because it can't be. So it's just like, if you just plan a day, you go with the fam to NASA, like just run it by the teams so they can be like, oh, look, well, this astronaut's going to be here this day. Ask them this questions. We got you. We're going to do all the homework for you, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of the idea, is that we all come together. We start coordinating together, even if everyone meets up at a rocket launch and whatever it is. Can I be the executive director of Claptrap? Yeah, I think I will allow you to be. Yeah, Claptrapism. I will allow it. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Yeah, well, I want to help. Yeah, I get you if you feel like you don't have time, though, brother. Like, I have, like, so many things. It's insane. Okay, so, would never visit that place? Well, we're trying to expose them. Exactly what I was thinking, make it a family trip. Yeah, I mean, then you have, like, a super cover. All right. Executive team president provides overall strategic direction, ensures the organization's goals are met, and oversees all operations. VP supports the president in decision-making and oversees specific departments or functions. Number 2, regional management. I guess I could just show this. Regional managers oversee and coordinate efforts in their respective regions, manage regional staff, and report to the executive team, which is broken up into 10 regions throughout the U.S. Finance department, finance overseers. We have research and evidence compilation. So we have department. We have research analysts, technical specialists. We have audits and investigations, audit coordinators, health and safety auditors. We have communication and public relations, media relations specialists, social media coordinators, legal department, FOIA specialists. So FOIA specialists, legal advisors, regional support staff. We have scheduling coordinators, logistics specialists, secretaries, newsletter team. We have the newsletter writers, newsletter editors. So yeah, and then I went more extensively with the actual descriptions, the requirements and parameters for each position. President, VP, regional manager, finance overseer, research analyst, technical specialist, audit coordinator, health and safety auditor, communication specialist, public relations specialist, newsletter writer / editor, secretary, logistics coordinator. The logistics coordinator is responsible for managing the organization's logistical needs, such as coordinating travel, organizing events, and ensuring the availability of necessary resources. They work closely with the executive team and other staff to ensure the smooth operation of the organization's activities. We have schedule organizer, legal advisor, IT specialist. We also have a CTO, right? Chief Technological Officer in charge of the IT specialist. We have graphic designer, educational content creator, social media manager, event coordinator, human resource manager, fundraising coordinator, and then chief technology officer, assignment review specialist. I released the first assignment. That's all private. We'll have someone that looks through them helps look through them. We'll have someone that comes up with the new assignments. Yeah, so there you go. Presidential support team. We got the VP, chief of staff, director of operations, performance analyst, strategic advisor, communications director, risk management advisor. Then you also have the position of astronaut liaison, who is responsible for establishing and maintaining professional relationships this is, you got to join. You got to join, man. But just to give you an idea, like, this is going to be super legit. It's no joke. So, so many titles. Yeah, well, we have so many people. So, anyway, the point is, think about it. If you have each different part of it compartmentalized and you have like multiple people doing each compartmentalized job and all coordinating within regions, right? And then like moving it up together. If you have all these people just chipping in a little bit of time that they have together, all together, right? Did you not realize what we can do? And like, I already have so many good ideas, dude. I have so many good ideas. So, Austin Globers are now saying you can capture light moving via a camera that captures frames a trillion frames per second. They linked me to a TED Talk. Yeah, that doesn't change anything though, because the light is visible light when it lights up, the light, right? That's actually just what's already there becoming illuminated. So it's becoming perceivable. I don't dispute that. In slow motion, you're going to see it start to be perceivable. The fact is that it's just already there. And we have abundant evidence for that. Rakia Live, thank you for the $20 super chat. Brother, what's going on? What a legend. I don't see an application on your website. I'll check it out after the show. Is that on Audit NASA? I should just put it on the website, I guess. Which, if I'm going to put it on the website, I might as well just drop it in the freaking thing. I should just publicly make it available. Okay. So we're going to do it right now. Just a second. Don't make it weird, bro. Unless it doesn't work. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right. We're going to drop it in the chat. Check it out. And I'm trying, man. It's so much, and I've obviously been having to like run relatively speaking for the first time, then try to put something together for Schooling the Globers. Then I think I'm going to have Sean Hibbler on tomorrow, so I'm going to do this thing on Thursdays where it's called WitsitGetsIt with whoever I bring on as like a truther. WitsitGetsIt with whatever. I'll just start having truthers on every Thursday or so. And then I will have In the Field on Friday. So, I'm launching all these new shows, and then I'm taking Tuesday off. So Tuesday, I'm trying to prioritize Audit NASA, but at the same time, I have to sprinkle it all because I need to also be able to work on like a Schooling the Globers and then finish all the format and then get all the scheduling done. It's just a whole thing. So I'm trying. This is why I need people to help me out. But I'm signing up. That's what's up, brother. And you have my word that no one has to worry about their personal information, like something happening to it. Only I got it. Now, your name and like contact info, like say you put your name and email in there. I didn't even make the phone number required, but the phone number is preferable, so we can text you or call you. It is preferable, but anyway. But like if you have your address and stuff in there, like no one's gonna know anything about that. Like only I have that. No one's gonna know anything about it. You got to bring me on WitsitGetsIt. That sounds fire. I'm down. I'm thinking like have a truther on and then just like open up a whole call show for everybody. WitsitGetsIt. I don't get, so it's like applying to a job. Yeah, it's to weed out the anti-flat earthers that will try to infiltrate the organization if we just leave everything wide open for everyone to come in. It's the only way to actually get this done. It creates legal protection. I'm being very thorough, thinking about everything regarding the legality of everything that we're doing, regarding what they could try to do to come at us, regarding like everything we have. There's stuff I can't say. There are some very epic big moves going on behind the scenes. You're only going to know if you're part of it. And that's just how it goes. That's the only way it can succeed. So, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm like so serious about it. Like I said I was going to do it, and I keep my word. And it took me a second. I got a little behind, but I told you I was going to do it. And Bob was really excited about it. And so, like, really excited about it. And told me he was, like, really proud of me, and he just couldn't tell me how happy he was about it. So, we're going hard. We're going hard for my boy. And if True Earth can't rally behind this and put their differences aside just to get behind this, to push it, to promote it, to drop videos, right? I mean, I'm not making money on this, but I'm spending money on it, and I'm spending all this time on it when really I'm in like serious need of figuring out how to keep consistent revenue coming in for myself and my family. I'm like still doing this. So there's that. What's is amazing? Oh, you're amazing, Brian. Do it for Bob. Hey, pre-show kick it on cornerism. Maybe. Like I can't just go do shows, then my show. Do you hear how much stuff I'm saying I'm trying to do? I feel like you guys think I don't really work or something. It's like, dude, I just never stop working. I just trust y'all that like I don't like look at it like, oh, I'm doing this much work on this. I need this much money. I'm just like trying to do everything in good faith, and then I just trust the creator. And then, you know, it can get stressful like that though, but it's all good. I'd love to be a part of the movement, but not sure what all I could contribute right away. Like, I mean, whatever you can contribute. You can do research. You can look into a certain astronaut and be like, hey, look, this person did this and this and this. Just type it up. You can like call, and you can call for 10 minutes one day and like ask an NASA employee a certain question once we get that assignment done with a bunch of questions. There's all kinds of things that you can do. We just need organization of Discord. We need organizations of the groups here and there. We need like just some secretary that will take certain calls here. We need someone to look over certain assignments. There are so many things. That's why I added so many jobs. Someone's like, there are so many positions, LOL. That's why I did that, because it's smart. Like I'm making so many different positions with so many different job descriptions where everything I can think of that the organization will need is covered, and everyone can be like, oh, well, I can pitch in on that. I can pitch in a little bit on that, so that you have a bunch of people working together. They can't stop it. So I like to kick it with Witsit. Yeah, thanks. We're going to have Sean Hibbler on tomorrow, I think. Austin, don't get me wrong, the globe is straight hokum, but one answer is that the atmosphere loses density with altitude, therefore it can spin faster with less energy at higher altitudes. Micah Reynolds, $5 tip. Thank you on Rockfin. I did address that, right? Which is like, I showed that the energy changes, like the temperature. So you have the density of the atmos, right? Getting smaller and smaller and smaller the higher you go up. And then we have the temperature getting colder, warmer, colder, warmer, colder, warmer. Okay. Causing the density to change relative to the temperature there, right? And in addition, it doesn't help, because you need to actually offer a specific physical mechanism where the energy is going to be just the right amount based on the different densities. The energy, you have to actually provide a physical mechanism that's producing set amount of energy, and then show how that is going to be distributed through these different density layers, just the right amount as it goes down proportionate to altitude, just the right amount to make it go the same speed as the Earth. And you have a problem because it wouldn't be able to just be a single source of energy facilitating through it based on density, because we have a huge fluctuation in temperature, thus kinetic energy inside of the different layers already. Does that make sense? I did cover that, but thank you for the tip, $5 tip. And Swartbard, thank you for the $5 tip. Thanks for your beautiful work. Thank you. And Adrian Quitana, thank you for the $5 tip on Rockfin. Good stuff, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for supporting on Rockfin. I will double check again. I know sometimes I'll forget about you guys. Give me some research to do. I get bored. LOL. Blake 1991. Ideally, you guys are gonna personal message me at Witsit, but you can also go to auditnasa.com, and there's contact avenues on there that I can use. Now, I will tell you this. Eventually, those contact avenues will be distributed out to a few other people. I can't run everything. There's no way, especially not getting paid anything. I would literally do nothing else, and it's just insane. But you can contact Audit NASA through the website, auditnasa.com, right? And that goes through straight to a few different email services I have set up in there, including I have it on an app. But I will end up giving that to some secretaries and certain people so they can help respond and run. Anyway, so you can get in contact there. The idea is that you should definitely find a way to get to Telegram. I'll also create a Discord. Now, if you don't have Telegram, you don't have Discord, you can stay up to date with the website. I don't know what else I can do. We're going to start to launch the YouTube. We'll have the IG. Once we get the social media team set up, we'll have the Instagram. So we'll have some stuff posted on the gram, and we'll have like a Facebook, etc. But I don't know what else I can do. I can't just be constantly checking my email all day, every day to every question someone has about Audit NASA. So I will be creating official Audit NASA emails for certain sections. They cost money per month, right? With auditnasa.com, but where you can be getting help with certain things like that. But right now, our central hub is the private Telegram group, and we're going to launch a Discord. So if you don't have Telegram, you should definitely consider getting it. If you do, you should definitely find your way there, because that's like where we have everything set up right now, so you can stay up to date real quick. And we're working on something else, but you will have to find your way in through the private channels first. And you can, of course, did I drop the application? I think I did drop the application, right? Yeah, this is how you can get in. Get in by verifying that you're legit. And I think that a bunch of truthers will be like, oh man, it says that they want to know my information, and it says that if I lie and take the private information and expose it, that I could get in trouble. Oh man, because you know how super truthers are. It's like, well, just don't lie and have malevolent intent with the organization, and then you're fine. And I'm giving you my word. That's all I can do. That I'm like not going to be sharing your personal information with people. It is what it is, but that is a requirement. If I didn't do that, the alternative would be a couple super truthers would have nothing to complain about, but still wouldn't really help with the organization anyway, wouldn't help with Audit NASA anyway, and then I'd get flooded with trolls who've already sent me, you shouldn't have babies, I hope you die, audit witless, your wife must be so disappointed, oh man, your wife is probably telling you that you suck because you can't pay the bills, like all this stuff about my family, my daughter, my wife, all this stuff about you shouldn't be allowed to breed, and you're such a blah blah, like it's just all disgusting. It's like just spamming, like spam fake, like derogatory, vulgar sexual things in the names, the fake emails, just spamming it. You think I want to bring that into the actual organization? No. So how do I prevent it? That means the Telegram group has to be private, invite link only. You have to be very careful to who you give the link to. And then you have to, in order to officially be a part of the organization, they have to fill out the form. It's the only way. It's a pretty brilliant way that I came up with to prevent the savage, thirsty nature of the depraved moral degeneracy that is anti-flat earth. So there you go. Oh, well, that's dark. And what if some of it was AI? It was 100% anti-flat earthers. It wasn't AI. Wow, sorry, Austin. That's disgusting. It's all good. I'm desensitized to it, but I'm explaining to you why I know that we have to do this. I'm doing this for the best interest of the organization. I can smell the hate in the morning, never bothered me. Yeah, it's not that it really bothers me. I'm desensitized at this point. It's just like I'm being tactical. I'm not going to subject all these other good-hearted people like, oh, I was a teacher for so long and I finally woke up and I want to help. All these like good-hearted, sincere people, like I'm not going to subject them to this like moral degeneracy and hatred. You know, we have women. We have like younger people. We have people that want to come together and do something. And, you know, someone has to step up and help spearhead it. I'll do it. We got to all come together. If we don't come together, I don't like, if True Earth can't get behind auditing NASA and catching them on record, contradicting themselves, telling different stories, going against the official story, lying, if we can't force them to like, okay, we want the information for all of the trainings. We want the training station. We want the training mission here. We want you in the pool here. We want this. We want this. We want the actual videos of the stars in space that you're supposed to have. We want 360s because you had to have at least turned around at one point. Where's the camera? We want this. We want that. What about this claim? What about that claim? If we can't do that, and we imagine what would happen if you got good shots on camera of astronauts stuttering and lying or changing their story or saying the wrong thing and contradicting themselves. That exposes the whole thing. Because you supposedly really went to space, and so did they, and so did they. You shouldn't have to coordinate. You shouldn't have a script. You shouldn't have to have certain answers. None of that matters. I could walk up to you in a grocery store and ask you a question. It should be super easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really played football in college. If you come ask me questions about me playing football in college, it's not in any way a big deal. I just really played football in college. I don't have to remember a script. It's like you can just randomly ask me questions, and I answer because it's something I really did, right? I really went on tour around the United States in every major city and talked on the microphone and warned people against lockdowns and told them about the government lying to them. If you come ask me questions about that, I don't have to like stutter, look around and be like, oh, well, what was my script? Okay. And so that's the point. If they start contradicting themselves, and you can have that, just basic understanding and logic will show millions of people that NASA's up to no good, that they're lying, they're misleading the public. So that is such a game changer if that is to happen. if they end up jumping in and shutting stuff down for national security purposes, they don't respond to different discovery requests because of national security purposes, that's also a huge win. It'll all be documented. We're going to make documentaries. We're going to like 4K cinematic documentaries, professional producing, editing, all that. It's going to change the game. And I'm going to do an honor bomb. All right, there you go. There's the little pep rally. Above 200 kilometers, however, the incredibly thin atmosphere actually spins faster than the Earth. The cause of this bizarre super rotation effects remain unclear, but has also been detected on Venus. Yeah, exactly. That's what they say. The Nacho friend, thank you for the $10 super chat. Yeah, they claim that like on Venus, they claim the most recent thing, because they don't agree, but the most recent thing they claim for the super rotation, because it's way faster than the alleged super rotation of the Earth's atmosphere, they claim something about so close to the sun heats it up so much, but then closer to the surface is so much colder that this, on the dark side of Venus, is so much colder that this like clashing of the two different types of like temperatures create this like crazy reaction that basically creates a temperature tide that creates a super rotation. That's their current theory. But anyway, on the Earth, they try to say stuff like solar activity, but they know it doesn't fully work because the solar activity is so chaotic and the super rotation seems to be so consistent within their own model, you know. Yeah, it's just a whole thing, right? So it's like, okay, the energy is introduced to the really thin part, making it go so much faster, and then it's going like slower, but then the temperature is going cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, and it's all moving in lockstep. It's like none of that makes sense. The official answer is not that it moves in lockstep, though. But people don't. It's just weird. Anyway, amazing, Austin Yahuwah, bless you, brother. Thank you so much. We all need Witsit pep rallies in this crazy world. Hey. That was awesome what you did and deserve all the truth and nothing but the truth. Thank you. All right, cool. All right. Thanks for kicking it. Oh, someone was 6 months. I like to research. Thanks to you. I think I already read that, but well, I think you're being a member for 6 months if I didn't. And double check Robin before we get out. Okay, we're good. All right, cool. Yeah, if you want to support the channel, I think links should be in the description. I still need to update the description, but there's so much, man. Cash App, $WitsitGetsIt, PayPal.me/InnerWorld on PayPal. You guys get it. I'll read off anything. And then I think what we're going to do, just so everyone knows, so we have Monday. Monday we have Relatively Speaking, 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, Schooling the Globers, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays, Witsit Kicks It with whatever the guest is, or maybe just a big giant call-in show if there's no guest. And then Fridays, In the Field, where we have a conversation with someone in their respected field. Saturdays, day off, unless it's like Saturday night after the sun goes down, I'm in a debate or something. And then Sunday morning, Witsit Kicks It, or no, Witsit's Biscuits and Gravy. Where we just chill. I'll throw my robe on, wake up kind of early, just chill with you guys. Maybe have a few people on to kick it. And that's when I'll open up letters and everything in the P.O. box. Claptrapism gifted 1 Miswit membership. First one to grab it, Flat Sabbath. Thank you so much for the gift for the membership. That's where I'm going to read off stuff in the P.O. box, open stuff up in the P.O. box. It's going to be like a chill with the fam kind of thing. Maybe eat breakfast with you guys. Open up whatever it is, kind of cover what's going on that week. It's going to be a real chill, cool thing. And maybe we'll let people call in, especially if you have your robes on. We'll all just chill, just like a chill. Good way to start the week, because Sunday's actually the first day of the week. And so we'll start the week with like high vibrations. And then, of course, that night I have Glowbusters. That afternoon, 3 to 6. I think that we're working on maybe this Sunday. I'm going to also be having to do a podcast. I just did Robbie Davidson podcast. I don't know if you guys could check that out if you want to. And then I have a podcast, a couple hour podcasts with Caleb. So with Caleb coming up, Caleb and Derek. So that should be cool. So I'm really busy. So like, especially with Audit NASA, if you guys can help a brother out, that would be great. But anyway, now you guys know the schedule. So what will happen is the shows will slowly get better over time. Like when I work out the themes and the glitches and the little mess ups here and there, we're gonna update everything. Then I'll have the new song made for like Skull and Glober's theme song with a new video, maybe a Relatively Speaking theme song with a new video. we'll use in the field for Friday. And then we'll have new logos, new themes, new intros, shorter videos at the beginning, some of the intros because people complain about it so much. But we'll have to keep the astronauts for one of the shows because so many people like it. But cool. So total rebranding, that'll take, before it's all running like super, super smooth and consistent, probably be about a month of like some trial and error. But we're gonna still have the shows. They're already getting better in my opinion. And there's that. There's the update. So cool. I think one of the things we may be doing is making a bunch of Audit NASA merch, like stickers. We're also going to create little brochures so you can hand them out, or like little cards and stuff. Yeah, like maybe like Audit NASA version of something like this, even if it's just as simple as this, and then we have a QR code on it. Or maybe even just little like pamphlets, I don't know, but where you can hand them out to people, and it raises awareness to NASA trickery and dishonesty specifically, not just about the Earth. I think it's such a glitch. It gets people's interest. It makes people, want to know what's going on. Everyone cash out this legend $1. Thank you, man. Project Handyman LLC. Thank you. Awesome. Blesses you and your house. Thank you. Click on the gift to activate the gift option. Setnet gifted one membership. Thank you, brother, for gifting a Miswit. Stephanie was gifted a membership. Anyone know the name of Robbie Davidson's podcast and where to find it? It's on, I think it's called Revolution Radio. I don't know the name of it though. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's one thing I think we're gonna do, so people can kind of like pay for, say, like the brochures, like the flyers and the cards and stuff like that. Obviously, I can't just pay for thousands of dollars in cards so everyone can get them for free. I wish. But anyway, you can pay for those and say that there's just like a 10% markup on it or something. And then that money goes into like this separate account for Audit NASA. So eventually, we need to have some money put aside in there. And hopefully that builds up. Anyone that donates specifically for Audit NASA, specify if you're wanting it to go to me, donate to me. But if you specifically want some money to go to Audit NASA, tell me, and I will, of course, with integrity, put the money aside. We'll end up having finance overseers. We already have a dope couple people that are going to do that. So cool. How's the little one? She's awesome, bro. She's so cool. I swear she says like I love you. Like I'm like, can you say I love you? And she's like, I love you. Like she doesn't say it all the way, but she like says it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. How old is Jaren? Like 20 something? 20, I think. Or 19, 20. You wouldn't even miss it, and he can make a great day's wage today. Oh, with the $1 from everyone? Yeah, I guess that would be true. If I got $1 from everyone right now, it'd be $315 on Cash App. That'd help a brother out. Where's the gift button? I don't know. I guess I can't do it to myself, obviously, so I don't know. Love it, bro. All right, cool. So there you go. The show's going to get much better. I'm going to start actually going around being on a whole bunch of different podcasts, different shows. If you guys have suggestions as to different people with credentials to have on or different guests, let me know. Different shows you want me to jump on, let me know. But if you have some type of contact with them already, that would be ideal because, anyway. And then I'm going to get the whole calendar mapped out, and then I'll release it. Probably right now I have Witsit.live because I'm also trying to work on WitsitGetsIt.com and then an app. And then I want to create an app for Audit NASA. That's a monthly cost. Another reason why there has to be money coming in to some extent for Audit NASA to even stand up and survive, because like I wanted to have an app where you can go like check all the like audit statuses and stuff. And dude, I think it seriously could blow up. That is a monthly fee for the app. So there's that. And already paying the monthly fee for that service. Got to get the WitsitGetsIt thing going. Just a lot. You guys get it. I think you guys get it. Anything else? There's probably more stuff, but just you guys will stay up to date. A really good way to stay up to date is to get Telegram. Go to t.me/Miswits, and that's the chat. You can go to t.me/ I think it's Witsit Streams. I always forget. Yeah, t.me/Witsit Streams. I'll be dropping like this PowerPoint and like 10 other was in there if I can remember to do it tonight. And that's it. I haven't really put anything in the other channel yet. So Cool, that's a good way to do it. And you can just personal message me on Telegram at Witsit. Of course, you can also email me, but Witsit at Gmail is getting so clogged down with not just people, but all kinds of stuff. Like, I have to shift back over. So Witsit at protonmail.com, which is encrypted. And then at Witsit on Telegram, also, of course, encrypted. Wow, someone else. 10 memberships, Claptrapism. What are you doing, brother? Thank you so much, Claptrapism gifted 10 Miswit memberships. What a legend, bro. What a legend. You people grabbed them. Check them out. Check out all the Miswits. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Why don't I get a gift? You have to just click it when someone gives it. Ask Buzz Aldrin for a substantial donation to Audit NASA. Yeah, how cool would that be if just one substantial, substantial donation, we would change the world, dude. I swear. All right, cool. Thank you guys for kicking it. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. Welcome to Miswit Level 1 Cheddar Bomb. Hey, welcome to the Miswits. Thanks for kicking it. Nice. Okay, we're good. We're up to date right now. We're caught up. Everything will keep getting better. I'm trying to smooth everything out. Just bear with me. All right, thank you guys for kicking it. Discord link. The channel's not made yet. That's something else on the list of things. Everything has to be tactical with who makes it. If I made it in my name, it would get deleted. Okay, everything has to be super tactical. We're working on everything. So change the setting to accept GIFs in settings. Okay, there you go. Apparently you have to accept GIFs in settings. I don't know. All right, cool. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. So although some of the stuff that we talk about on this channel may initially appear to be kind of wild, hard to wrap your mind around, I get it. I was in the same boat when I heard a lot of it for the first time. But truth is stranger than fiction sometimes, and also doesn't fear investigation. And if you were to remove every piece of knowledge you know that originally seemed like you couldn't believe it or you weren't sure about it, then you would basically know almost nothing. So it's ignorant to be like that. Strong people don't care what weak people think. Informed people don't care what ignorant people think. And whenever they revile you for his name's sake or for the truth's sake, just rejoice. They did it to all the prophets before you. If you're not getting attacked, you're probably not doing something right. And what's popular is not true. What's true is not popular. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. I think we're having Hibbler on. Witsit gets it. Witsit kicks it with Hibbler. So I have to get that whole show put up. But till next time, peace.
So they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?